Now next topic is flotation of iceberg. Now what are iceberg? A large piece of ice which floats in sea water, that is generally known as the iceberg. Alright, now these icebergs are very dangerous for the ship. What is the reason that icebergs are very, I hope everybody has seen that Titanic movie, and you know that why that large ship Titanic sink in water. That is the cause due to because it hits a iceberg. Alright, now why these icebergs which causes even sinking of ship inside sea are very dangerous, that we have to understand. Now first point is that density of ice is less than density of water. What is the density of ice? Density of ice is 0.917 gram per centimeter cube. And if you consider the density of water, normal water, it is 1 gram per centimeter cube. So as density of ice is less than density of water, so ice floats in water. Alright, now when a body floats in water, then we know this relation, that volume of the body within the liquid divided by total volume is equal to density of the solid by density of the liquid. Now if we apply this concept for the case of iceberg, then you see what is the density of solid, that is ice, 0.917. Now when you are considering the density of the liquid, then you have to take the density of sea water, not the normal water. For sea water, density of water is 1.026. So, if you divide 0.917 by 1.026, then it is coming 0.893. So, you see what is small v? Small v is 0.893 into v. So, if you write into percent, you know how to convert it percent. Multiply it by 100. So, if you multiply it by 100, then it is becoming 89.3%. So, you see what is small v? The volume of the body within water. So, how much volume will be within water? 89.3% of the total volume of the body. So, you see when the iceberg floats in sea water, then how does it float? It floats with 89.3% of its volume within water and 100 minus 89.3, how much? 10.7. 10.7% of its volume above water. So, when a ship is sailing in sea water, it can see only the part of the iceberg which is above water. Now, how much is above water? Only approximately you can say 11%. So, 11% is above water and 89% is below water. So, the ship the ship sailing in sea, it will not be able to understand what is the actual size of the iceberg. So, if it try to move very near to the iceberg, then the iceberg may hit the bottom part of the ship and may make a hole and may cause sinking of the ship within water. That exactly happened with Titanic. Alright, so this is the way one should write down the answer point wise in the exam, and the important points only, and these are the points you must write it by putting the asterisks as I wrote. Next point is very interesting. Just you consider that suppose you have taken a piece of ice. So the piece of ice, it is floating like this, partially submerged, isn't it? So you see this is 11 part and this part is 89. So the question is there that when the ice will melt, it will be converted into water. So do you think that when the ice will melt, then the water level will rise? Okay, why? Because a certain part of ice is above water. So where that will go when it will melt into water? Now you see this is the God's creation only, and that's why means we appreciate, adore him, that ice when it melts, then what happens, you know, ice contracts by volume. Alright, it means what? When the ice will melt, you see what is the volume of the ice? This is the volume of the ice, and when it will melt into water, then the volume of the water will not be this. What will be the volume of the water? Volume of the water will be this much. Alright, what does it mean? That when the ice melt, then the level of water never rises. Okay, so you can write down pointwise this way, that when ice melts into water, it contracts by the volume, first point. Then the question is how much? The amount of contraction in volume is equal to volume of floating ice piece above water, Alright, so I am telling you, so you see, if this is the volume of the ice piece, and then what will be the volume of the water? Volume of the water will be this much. Alright, not that volume of water will be here also. So such a fantastic creation of God. So you see, amount of contraction in volume as it is equal to volume of ice piece above water. What you can say, that water level remains the same as due to melting of floating piece of ice. These two diagrams you don't have to draw, alright. This is for your explanation or understanding. Next is coming the rising of balloons. Now, if you fill up the balloon by lighter density gas means hydrogen and helium, generally we do. Now, hydrogen and helium, density of hydrogen and helium is much less than density of air. So, what will happen when you are taking a balloon filled up with hydrogen and helium, then weight of the balloon becomes less than the upthrust exerted by the air. Now, upthrust weight is less and you see upthrust is more. Why? Because volume of the balloon is very big. So you see volume of the balloon increasing the upthrust, whereas the presence of lighter gas within the volume decreasing the weight. So what is happening in the ultimate case? That weight is much smaller than upthrust. So as a result, what will happen? Upthrust is acting in the upward direction. So the balloon will start rising up. Now when the balloon will start rising up, then what will happen to the upthrust? Upthrust, you know, volume of the displaced air multiplied by density of air into G. Now when the balloon rises up, then what happens? G as well as the density of air decreases. Density of air and the value of G decreases at higher altitudes. Alright, here I forgot to write this. Rho of air and G decreases at higher altitude. So what happens when the balloon is rising up, then upthrust starts decreasing, weight remaining the same. So one time will come when weight and upthrust will become equal. Then we know, according to principle of flotation, when weight and upthrust become equal, then the body starts floating. So what will happen? The balloon will rise up. How long it will rise up? It will not rise up and reach heaven to God. Okay, it will rise up until and unless W become U. When W will become equal to U, then it will stop rising and starts floating, maintaining the same height. Alright, so this is the way pointwise you have to write down the answer, that as rho of helium or hydrogen less than rho of air, so weight of balloon is much less than upthrust acting on it initially within bracket. So what will happen to the balloon? The balloon will rise up. Now, when it rises up, then what happens? Upthrust acting on it decreases. Why decreases? Because density of air and the value of G both decreases at higher altitude. So, what is happening? It will rise up. How long it will rise up? Till W becomes equal to U. And when W becomes equal to U, it will stop rising further and floats at the same height. So this is the way pointwise you are supposed to handle the answer if it comes in exam. Now next case is flotation of submarines. Now if you consider a submarines, then in the front part and the rear part there are ballast tank. Okay, ballast tank means this is also known as flotation tank. Alright, this tank you can, if means the what I can say, the arrangement is there by which you can fill up this tank by water or you can fill up this tank by compressed air. Now what is done? You know that submarine is a device which can float at any level within sea and it can rise up also above seawater. Alright. Now how a submarine sinks or how a submarine dives within water. When a submarine wants to dive within water, wants to come down within water, then these ballast tank, they are filled up with water. So you see, when this will be filled up with water, the submarine will become heavy, the weight of the submarine will increase, and as you know, when weight increases, then the body moves in the downward direction under the action of the net downward force. So what will happen? The submarine will dive, will sink within water. Alright? Now, when the submarine want to rise up, then what will happen? These water are thrown out, and here compressed air, these ballast tank, these are filled up with compressed air. So when it is filled up with air, then what will happen? The submarine will become lighter, the weight of the submarine will become less than the upthrust acting on it. As a result, the submarine will rise up. So this is the way you have to answer why the submarine floats in different level of water and how it can rise. These are the points you have to write. First point, submarine has ballast tanks. Sorry, not tank. Ballast tanks or flotation tank. The ballast tank also named as flotation tank in its front and rear parts. So when a submarine dives underwater, then what happens? Ballast tanks are filled up with water. So what happens? W become greater than U and it dives into water. And when a submarine rises up, then what is done? Water from the ballast tanks are thrown out and tanks are filled up with compressed air. So what happens? W become less than U and the submarine rises up. Now here, all the examples I am discussing according to their importance in exam. Okay, they are given in different sequence in your book, but I am discussing in my lecture according to their importance in your exam. So you must strictly follow the lecture. Next is how a fish float. Alright, fish and submarine, they are working almost same. Alright, and rather submarine is man-made and fish is nature-made, and man copied the physics or science of nature and made submarine. Alright, now how a fish float can at different water level, it can rise up above water, alright, and can dive within water and go to and float into any level of water. How it happens? Within fish there is a swim bladder. Alright, now inside the swim bladder, when the fish want to rise up, it want to move up. So when anybody want to move up, then what you have to do? You have to increase the upthrust, decrease the weight. Now, how the fish increases the upthrust, you know? The swim bladder, within the swim bladder, the fish just diffuse air from the fluid that is within the fish body. As a result, what happens? The volume of the bladder as well as the volume of the fish increases and overall density decreases. So you see, when the volume of the fish increases, it increases upthrust, and when the average density decreases, it decreases the weight. So what is the overall effect? Upthrust become greater than weight. So what happens? The fish rises up. Alright. Now, when the fish want to dive down, want to sink down, then what it does? It just empties its bladder. It empties its bladder depending on to which level it wants to come down. Alright. If it wants to come down more, then it empties the bladder more. Alright. Then what is happening when the bladder is emptied? Then the volume will decrease, upthrust will decrease, density will, the average density, it will increase and weight will increase. So two things are happening together. Upthrust is decreasing and weight is increasing. So what will happen? W will become greater than U, and as a result the fish will come down, sink down, dive down within water. Alright, so these are the points you have to write in exam. You don't have to write the elaborately, as I said verbally. That fish has swim bladder. When fish rises up, it diffuses gas into bladder. So its volume increases and average density decreases. So U greater than W, and hence it rises up. And when the fish sinks down, it empties its bladder. what it does, it empties his bladder, so volume decreases and density increases. So when volume will decrease, upthrust will decrease, density increase means weight will increase, so U become less than W and it sinks within water. So this is the way, point wise you should write down the answer, that why a fish or how a fish can float in water. Now the last topic, that flotation of human body. Alright, now you know that human can swim in water. Now swim means what? You have to float, isn't it? Now if you consider the human body, different parts, the blood or the bones, the muscles, the head, all are having different densities. Alright, so depending on the densities of different part of the human body, the density of the human body changes. Alright, not only that, if you fill up your lung with air, then what happened? When you are filling up the lung with air, then density of the body decreases. Alright, and if you empty your lung by the air, then what will happen? The density decreases. So when a swimmer swim, then he makes his body or her body to float on water in such a way that he fills up the lung with water and always keep the mouth and nose above water. Alright, so that whenever it is needed, he or she can empty the lung or fill up it with air. Alright, now it is found that it is easier for a man to swim in sea water than in river water. Why it will happen? Because just like sheep only, in density of sea water is less than density of sea water is greater than density of river water. So when a body floats in sea, then less part gets submerged within the sea, isn't within the sea water. So the same thing happens for human body also. So when a man wants to swim in sea water, then he needs to submerge a smaller part of its body within water. But when the same person wants to swim in river water, then larger part of body needs to be within water. Alright, so that's why what happens, that always it is easy to swim in sea water than in river water. Alright, now what are the points you have to write? These are the points. That first point is this, that density of sea water is greater than density of river water. So what will happen? When you are floating in sea water, a smaller part of body need to be submerged. Smaller part. But when you want to float in river water, then in river water, a larger part of body need to be submerged, which is difficult. So that's why it is difficult to swim in river water. So that's all about the portion, about the chapter. So kindly do study, learn and practice this upthrust chapter. It is such a chapter that if you do not practice all the points properly, you won't be able to handle it during the time of exam. Alright, so you need to write and practice all the points I discussed. Thank you, girls.